This is Dr. Traci Harrell, and you're watching live Better Together and Living Powerfully. I could not possibly be more excited today. I just got off the phone with a new client. And part of the work we've been doing, I think, I've gone from the living powerfully experience includes, a focus on mind, right? It's the neuroscience and positive psychology, cognitive behavioral psychology, and performance science. But I also said that I was going to be focusing on living powerfully with AI. So I just got to combine all of the things that I love to do, in one package proposal for a client who was totally excited about all the things. Now, I'm also helping her with fundraising, which is another focus area that I love to do. And I'm using AI for that as well. So what I wanted to talk about today is, remember how we ended, what was it? Labor Day. And we were talking about labors of love. And I was like, oh my God, like if I could impart into each person that's watching this, how important it is to do the work that you love to do and to do it right now. Like it is October 20th of 2025. And I can remember, feels like just yesterday, we were talking about a new year. We were talking about 2025. I was coming back from Africa and we were talking about all the great things that we can do. Well, guess what you get to do? Right? Live powerfully right now. Live your legacy now. If someone told you had 30 days left to live, would that make you want to change your focus? Would you feel like, oh my God, there's some things I should be doing differently, right? If the answer is yes, do them now. I implore you to really focus on the things that you love to do, the communities that you want to impact. It could just be your loved ones. It could be your children. It could be your grandchildren. It could be the person that you sleep next to, right? That you just want to be a better A, B, or C, right? You always wanted to start a business. Whatever it is you said you wanted to do in 2025, and if you were watching this show, we were always talking about, what do we want to do? What are those things that we desire for our future? They're yours for the taking. And I couldn't be more excited that I just got off a call where it's just like, I'm not just talking this, people. I'm living it out every day. Like I get to wake up and do the work that I love. I get to hang around and meet new people. I talk about house sitting in these beautiful homes. And it's like, I didn't plan this. It's just the coolest thing. It's just like I get to meet amazing people and have these awesome experiences. And it is the life, honestly, that I wouldn't trade at this point for anything. I wouldn't. I love it. I love it so much. In 2 days, I'm actually going to, it looks like we're not broadcasting on LinkedIn. So if my producer can add that while we're live, that would be super cool. If not, let me just keep talking and we'll figure it out later. But it's really, really important to me to impart to you, not something that I heard. This is what I know, right? And during our last conversation, I mentioned that we were doing this work for a couple of reasons, right? We said we were going to, focus specifically on the living powerfully experience. We said, during our last session, we talked about, for Better Together and Living Powerfully, we talked about creating a detailed process on how you can change the status quo. And I was referencing some of my favorite books around mindset, but also around doing the things, taking little steps and creating new habits, the power of habit and all that. So we want to have basically, I'm going to cram a 2-hour show right now. And I need need your ears to like tune in because I'm going to do this so fast you never even imagine. So that full script that we talked about last time that I'm using for my book, that's what we need right now. So stay with me. Buckle up. Get ready. So this is all written out. So I do have notes. Hold on. So I do have lots of notes. And so that's what we're doing right now is I'm going to go back to where we last started because I've had probably about 17 people like message me, which I thought was pretty cool because I don't even know how you find me because I don't really look at my social media that much. But people reached out to me and they asked questions about process and steps. And they said, you keep talking about this book. When can we get the book? Well, right now I'm giving you all the information for free. The book should be done by the end of this year. This will be, not should be, will be done by the end of this year. And the content that I'm sharing with you now is content directly that will be included in that book. So let me tell you more about what we have for you today. So, oops, hold please. Okay. Okay. So this is the Living Powerfully experience. We integrate that better together because it's better to do anything, right? You're trying to change the status quo. It's better when you do it together. And we talked about a few of my favorite books during the last session. You can read the books yourself, or I'm actually summarizing the content for you and telling you how it aligns with everything we've been talking about from a Living Powerfully perspective. And I've read like 1,000 books. I stopped counting at that point. And so I'm just pulling out the ones that are like, these are my favorites. And these are the ones that actually tell you, like there's this science around, I say neuroscience, and I talk about positive psychology, but there's also books that take it from the science to the practical applications. And so I'm right there in the middle to say, how do we get people to do things differently, to show up differently, to really achieve the life that you desire right now? This is it. It's all in the books. They're all saying similar things. And I'm just packaging it, hopefully in a way that allows you to really focus on your legacy, living your legacy now. And if there's a transformation, because we all are transforming every day, right? You're either, time is moving forward. So hopefully you're moving closer to the goals that you desire, right? That's being intentional. We talked about being intentional on a regular basis. So this concept of living powerfully, changing the status quo and building your legacy now, that's the work. That is the work. Like if we're going into this, we're ending this year, very intentional. So everything I do for you is about how do you show up differently? And yes, mindset is a part of it. Habit formation is a part of it. That's one of our themes, right? That's a silver lining, as they say, that goes through this work. But you have to do it. You have to do little things differently. So I'm not just telling you what I read. I'm telling you what I've been doing. Like this is my life. So I'm telling you what I also know. And it is anchored in the neuroscience and emotional intelligence and, positive intelligence and the habit science. So, but it's also, the thing that got me super excited, which I haven't really talked about as much on this show. So I'm being a little vulnerable because I'm bringing it into this conversation now, is this concept of faith and purpose, right? We talked about purpose. And I say, if you're a believer, that's awesome. You don't have to be, but my best fit client is, because then I can pray with you, right? I can help you see that, the universe, whatever you call it, right? It doesn't even matter, but the universe is conspiring for your good. The universe wants you to achieve your goals, right? And your brain, like the science of your brain, like if you say that you want good things to happen, then the truth is you get to just focus on the good things. Even when crazy stuff is happening around you, how you respond to it is equally important, right? So we are going to infuse this conversation with a little bit more divine timing. And the people that I was just working with, which is why I was so excited, is part of my divine timing, right? I get to do work that I love to do with people that want to move forward, that will listen to me. Because you can get people working, they're like, nah, I like doing it the way I've been doing it. It's like, man, that sucks, right? Because then you're not putting your seeds in fertile ground. Right now, I feel like I get to put my seeds in fertile ground, and that is so powerful and so fulfilling in 100 different ways. Okay. So stay with me. Tell me if you're ready. Okay. Yes. Okay. Someone just texted me, and I was like, oh, yes, I'd be happy to follow up with you. So put my email here, Traci at itsallbiggerthanme.com. You can reach out to me on social media. It is not the best way to reach me. Emailing me is actually better, Traci at itsallbiggerthanme.com. I don't typically do a whole lot of hands-on with social media, being honest. But here's what you need to do. So to my friends, to my community, to my people, today, what we're doing is revolutionary, right? This is about changing the status quo, not about talking about change, but becoming who you want to be. Remember, we talked about Michelle Obama's book, Becoming. I just love the title. Anything with ing at the end, these gerunds, they're like the activations. It's like you're doing it, you're becoming it. So you're not here by accident, right? There was some divine appointment. So if you think about mindset, it fuels the transformation, right? Like you have to believe, right, that you can be and have all the things that you desire. You have to believe it first. So that's the mindset part. The habits are what sustains it. And it's the small baby little habits that sustain your success, your profitability, right? Your joy, whatever it is, the life that you desire. It's those little habits, right, that sustain it. And it's your faith. If you got to believe, right, that anchors it. If when the shenanigans are going down, you got to be like, Lord, help me. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? So having something, someone, right, that's bigger than you is a beautiful thing. And you guys know my company's name is It's All Bigger Than Me, right? I started It's All Bigger Than Me Ministry, which is really the umbrella of everything I do. I wake up every day and it's All Bigger Than Me ministry. Now I get to consult with people as a part of my ministry. I get to help people. I get to show up here for free for you all, right? That's part of my ministry. It's a ministry of the mind, right? It's a ministry. It's not like we got to all be practicing the same religion because I'm not religious, right? I'm spiritual in the sense that I believe that there are spiritual principles that will help you to achieve the goals that you desire. Okay. So get ready. So we're going to talk about, in this next segment, we're going to talk about mindset, right? Resetting your mind, or rewiring the narrative that you've had, right? So, you know, it's really the space. It says between the stimulus and the response, there's a space. That's a quote from Viktor Frankl. These are, remember last time we were talking about, was it Aristotle? I think I was going back there 2,000 years ago. They were saying you become what you do, right? So it's like, it's these actions that we take that decide who we are. Our decisions determine our destiny, right? And we know that to be true. So the good thing is, and since 95% of everything we do is subconscious, right? Unconscious, right? Subconscious. You're not thinking about it. It's automatic, right? And so we want to interrupt that process. We want to say a lot of things happen automatically. They're just, you know, you want the good stuff to be happening as a habit, right? It's okay that things are happening automatically, but only if those things are moving you towards your goal. And that's what we're saying. You should create a space where between the stimulus and the response, there's that space. The space is where the power lives. We talk about the power of the pause. In that pause, right? In that space between what you want and where you are, that's the power of the pause, right? Life doesn't happen to you. It's what happens in you. It's what you decide you are going to do based on what has happened around you, right? People say, well, they made me do this, or they did something. Stuff is going to go awry for sure. Shenanigans will show up in our lives clearly, right? It doesn't even matter. The beauty and the power, that Jedi type, you know, power is being able to be calm in the middle of these crazy storms that we're in the middle of, right? And that's beautiful. So last week, I think we talked about mindset a little bit. I want to go a little bit deeper on something called growth mindset. There was a book by Carol Dweck, and she talks about if you believe that you can learn, evolve, and improve, that's how she defines growth mindset, meaning wherever I am now is just where I am now. I can do things, I can be better, I can achieve my desired outcomes, even if I haven't done it up until this point. Right. So the growth mindset concept, it's really about, you know, being in a place where you know that you can get there. Right. My belief that I can learn and I can evolve. I need to get my charger here during the break. It's all good. And Napoleon Hill calls this definitely. Oh, no, I need to get my charger. Let me see. I may have to take a quick break. But I call it living powerfully, right? Knowing that we can change the status quo. Is it possible for you to get my charger? It's actually right. Yes, it's right in there, plugged in against the wall somewhere. Thank you, y'all. Sorry about that. But we change the status quo not by breaking it with force, but by transforming it with focus. It's about focusing on the things that you want Each thought is a seed, and every word you speak waters that seed. But it's the actions that you take. That's the sunshine, right? That's the additional work that actually helps what you say you want to do. You can't just talk about it. You got to be about it. You got to be taking little actions every day. Yay. I have a, do you want to say hello? She's like, no, leave me alone. So I'm with a wonderful woman who's actually helping me to plug up my computer for you. Okay. So again, we talked about the status quo. Status quo is like what's happening, what's been happening. Thank you so much. You're so wonderful. It's what's been, nope.
Okay.
We are juicing.
Okay.
Thank you. So status quo is what's been happening, right? But you get to change the status quo by transforming your focus. What you focus on, right, will continue to grow and evolve. We talked about each thought is a seed. Every word you speak waters that seed. The actions you take, like I said, that's the sunshine. So you want something to grow, different to grow. You got to speak differently, believe differently, and act differently. So you're becoming, right? So you want to ask yourself, what garden are you tending in your mind, right? What thought have you been keeping small? What have you not been believing in yourself? Can you do the thing? Yes. Whatever the thing is, yes, you can do it, right? What truth do you need to plant, right? Instead, right now. These are the affirmations. When people talk about affirmations, they say, I call myself Fit Traci all the time, and I'm still 70 pounds overweight. I was 100 pounds overweight, but I've lost about 30 pounds. So I say, hey, I'm moving in the right direction. Fit Traci loves vegetables. I'm going to be eating pizza and ribs today. So it's not like I'm doing all the right things, but I'm just saying. But what I can tell you is most of the time I'm choosing well, but I also still allow myself, a little celebration every now and then. So that's the ask of each of you. Just remember that you get to choose well. You get to choose the outcomes that occur in your life, and it doesn't matter what's happening around you. I love that so much. Okay, so I have 9 more minutes before the break, and I get to get through all of this, so stay with me. Okay, so remember how we've been saying this, and I just want to circle back to people who, I've had people reach out and say that they sometimes struggle getting out of bed in the morning. Well, that's step one. The micro habits and the micro momentum that you take, right? It's the 1% shifts, right? Everybody's in a different place. And if for you getting out of bed is a problem, then celebrate it when you do get out of bed. Set the alarm clock and get up and do a thing, do one thing. And then celebrate that. For other people, it's like, I'm up, I do 5, 10 things. I take care of the kids. I got to do this, and blah, 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 but I haven't focused on my business. Well, then get up a little earlier, stay a little later, whatever it is. You have to focus and invest a little bit of time, just a little bit. 1% of micro momentum will create the life that you desire. 1%, doing one tiny thing a day. Right? And you can do more than that. But if you just did one that was leaning toward your goal, think about where you would be. It's October of 2025. And what did you say you wanted to do in, New Year's? So these little moves that we make, habits are the systems. So we talked about James Clear, right? He said, you don't rise. I said this last week, but I'm going to say it again. And I want you to kind of hear me in the deeper elements of this. We have these goals that we say we want to achieve. And you don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems, and your habits are your systems. So that's why I'm taking time to really focus on habits, micro habits, micro momentum, really identifying a thing and doing one thing. You're like, just one, I promise you, just one. That one thing, right, will typically lead to another thing, but it doesn't have to. If you just did one thing a day and you celebrated it, you gotta also celebrate. You know how Tony Robbins, when he has these sessions, he's jumping around and celebrating, because your mind and your body needs to be in sync. It needs to know that whatever the thing I just did, I love it. I need to do more of it, and it's going to help me. So that's how you're literally reprogramming your brain with these things. So I love it. So this is the micro momentum. It's one thing. If you want to change your life, you don't have to change everything. You just change the next thing that you're going to do, right? Just the next thing. Do one thing, the next thing, right? So we call these micro momentum moves, right? It's that 1% shift. So if you're like, I want to be closer to my spiritual, desires, pray 1 minute longer, right? I want to be a kinder person. Speak one kind word that you normally hold back. One word to someone. That's going to make you feel better. It's going to make them feel better. You put some positive joy into the universe. One word, one thing, right? You're like, I want to get out more. show up to one event that scares you a little bit, right? Do one thing, whatever the thing is, just do one and then celebrate that thing and then do it again, right? Success begets success. So these are those micro moves that creates macro miracles in your life. It's just that simple. I know it sounds almost ridiculous. Like, is that really true? Tons of books, bestsellers, all the science around positive psychology, it all says this. So I'm not just telling you what I read. I'm telling you what I know. Right? This is what we know to be true. So how do you build a life where a legacy isn't someday, but it's a daily practice? It's in these micro moves. So right now we're saying living powerfully today, living your legacy now. It's in those days, just one thing different. One thing that aligns with the goals that you say you want to achieve. That's beautiful. And again, it's 6:21, so I got 6 more minutes. The countdown is on. So this is what I'm considering segment 4. Okay, so I'm talking fast, but this is all written down for me. So walking with God in your greatness. Now, faith and alignment are not required because the science has your back. But if you do have a spiritual element to your life, then it's like an amplification. It's like, it's not wishful thinking, because the science behind what I'm telling you will get you to the same results. If you believe it, you can achieve it. This is saying, not only do I believe it, but I believe I have some additional power, some divine alignment that pushes me every day. Because I'm like, I'm doing exactly what my creator wants me to do. I feel so emboldened. It's like, not only is that mine, but that's mine and that mine. Like, I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do, right? So when you know that your goals align with the design of your creator, there's something, new doors open for you. It's like anything that I want, I believe it's mine for the taking, right? Because I'm walking in an alignment with my purpose. Right. I believe I'm doing good things for people. I show up, the best intentions. And so, there was another book that I talked about last week. I referenced last week, but I didn't get to go into it. So I'm going to talk about this alignment factor, and I'm going to bring it into like what you can do differently. We said do one thing differently. So I'm going to talk about this book called The 4 Agreements. It's beautiful. And I'm going to give you what the 4 agreements are. And I'm going to suggest what you might do differently. If this is your one thing, you could choose any of these 4 agreements or all of them, right? But if you want to just do one thing, choose one of these agreements. And then this is what you can do, right? So the first agreement is about be impeccable with your word. So what I do differently now is I try to speak life into myself and other people. When I meet someone, I'm like, oh my God, hi. Like I automatically now, I've been doing it for so long, I don't even try. Like I find something good because there's always something good, right, in other people. So speaking life into others and into yourself. But you also got to pour. That's one of the things I don't think I was doing enough, is pouring turning that back to myself. And allowing myself to believe that I'm wonderful too. I think other people are wonderful. Me too. I think I'm incredible, right? So be impeccable with your word, even to yourself. So if I promise myself that I'm going to do A, B, and C, like I promised myself over the weekend, I was going to finish this proposal for this client. And I promised myself that today I'm going to finish. I have another thing I have to do for another client. And I'm like, I'm going to get that done today. That's an agreement to myself, right? But I also promised myself that I would enjoy my life. So I walk my little poochie. Did you guys see my baby? Where's my baby? Where's my baby? Come here, baby. So, maybe that was on my last call. So I'm at a place where I get to like have the cutest little smoochy loochy babies, little puppies, and a cute little dog. And it's like, that brings me such joy. So when I think about being impeccable to my word, I said I was going to love myself up more. Well, that's part of loving myself up, is being around wonderful people and spaces and things that bring me joy. And that's what you can do as well. Number 1, 4 agreements. The first one is be impeccable with your word. Speak life into your life. Speak positive energy into your life. Number 2 is don't take anything personally, right? So I think this was interesting in the book. So when we talk about people that do different things, and it's like people, people are going to disappoint you, right? But you don't have to take it personally, right? You have to assume, I choose to assume that people have the best intentions. They just fall short. We're human, right? So don't take things personally, and that'll benefit you. That's one of the agreements. The third agreement is don't make assumptions. All right. And we've talked about this as it relates to living powerfully anyway, like the clarity. So this is basically saying ask questions, clarify, allow yourself and the other person to grow, right? So things may or may not be exactly the way you expected them to be, but don't make assumptions about someone else's intention. Ask the question, get clarity, right? Allow yourself to grow and others to grow as well. And then the fourth agreement is to always do your best, especially when no one's watching. Right? Like I said, I'm allowing myself to have pizza and ribs today. I haven't had anything to eat today except maybe, I don't know, maybe a cup or so of grapes and water. So then I'm allowing myself to enjoy. I'm here with the family that have been so wonderful to me. We're going to have a meal together. It's like, how cool is that? I'm a Southern girl. Food is my love language. So to be able to share food with people that I like, that brings me joy, right? So living powerfully means doing your best. It means being consistent with it, being intentional with it, and know that good things will come as a result of that. So being consistent and intentional about your life and the things that you say you want to do, that's all we're asking you to do. Wow, was that a perfect end and perfect timing? Okay, so it's 6:27. We got to go to break. We will be right back with more Better Together and Living Powerfully. And again, stay with me because we're nailing this with very clear next steps for you to live your best life. Stay with me.
Your community radio station will provide you with more information. Rainier Avenue Radio.
So my doctor told me to go online to check my test results, but I didn't know how to do that. Thankfully, I could turn to Link to Care WA for help. With Link to Care WA, I was able to learn how to use online health portals, use telehealth to talk to my doctor virtually, and manage my prescriptions online. I called the hotline and spoke to a real person who taught me the skills I needed. Call Link to Care WA at 866-757-1832 or visit linktocarewa.org.
Women are not an homogenous group.
We face discrimination differently depending on factors such as ethnicity, age, socioeconomic status, and more.
Rainier Avenue Radio is proud to amplify women's voices.
They are the experts of their own lives, initiating conversations within their community about challenges they face, the solutions they're working on, and the opportunities they see.
Please join us this Sunday from 2 to 5 for Women's Voices on Air. We know our challenges. We are the experts of our lives.
We are master multitaskers, prioritizing our family, friends, and our faith above our own needs.
Our needs and voices are too often overlooked.
Please join us this Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m. for Women's Voices on Air.
We tell our stories in our own way.
Totally bored? Mindlessly scrolling? Put down your phone and pick up a free youth transit pass. Youth 18 and younger ride for free. Go all the places. Do all the things. Escape the scroll at freeyouthtransitpass.com.
Hey, Seattle. Tune in to Lidline Sports every Monday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m.
What up, yo? We are back. This is Pep and the man that don't take no mess, Mr. O-P-I-S, Mr. Stevenson. What say you?
I hope you see the hat that I'm wearing right now. That's how mad I am.
I do. Man, you are angry.
I just want to make that be known. Tune
in to Lidline Sports every Monday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Lidline Sports.
A teacher who hurt their back and got prescribed opioids. A daughter trying to cope with a loss in the family. A friend silently struggling, thinking they'll be a burden if they ask for help. People with addiction come from all walks of life. And the truth is they stand a better chance at recovery with our support. Reaching out and sharing local resources can make all the difference. Don't count them out. More people recover with support. Find more ways to help at supportaddictionrecovery.com. That's supportaddictionrecovery.com.
You're listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.org. Check us out on social media, Facebook and Instagram, Rainier Avenue Radio.world, and on Twitter at Rainier Ave Radio.
Hey y'all, I brought one of my little coochie smoochie babies in the picture. They say when you bring a puppy into any picture, right, it just makes it even cute. Say hi. Say hi, this is Murphy. Murphy, that's Murphy. This brings me joy. So I brought him in as an example of what brings me joy. Who doesn't like puppies? Right? So be intentional. Be very, very intentional with your life and with your story, because you're writing a story right now. So I get to tell you more about where we just left off. And again, we talked about we were just talking about the 4 agreements. We were talking about sorry, I'm going backwards. Here we go. Sorry. Okay. Okay, here we go. We're talking about greatness. There you go. Okay. So the 4 agreements, I'll repeat them. Thank you very much. So we were talking about joy, right? So this idea of living powerfully includes you living your best life. So I've referenced a few books. The 4 agreements. The 4 agreements is a book, and the 4 agreements are: 1, be impeccable with your word; 2, don't take anything personally; 3, don't make assumptions; ask, clarify, and grow. And I think this is just about communication, right? We talked about your superpowers with positive intelligence, the PQs, and all of that. So don't make assumptions, ask questions, clarify, right? And then always do your best, especially when no one's watching, right? So living powerfully means doing your best. And we use 2 words: consistently and intentionally. Don't you love that? So if we think about application and action, just make sure that I am still grooving. Yeah, just want to make sure my baby was still in the shot. Okay. So we want to make sure we focus on the 4 I's, right? This is part of the Living Powerfully framework to change the status quo, okay? First, it's about being intentional. It's a power principle. Choose your focus daily. That's a power principle. So living powerfully includes a whole series of power principles. One is choose your focus daily, being intentional. So like a morning mantra might be, I choose purpose over pressure. I'm not gonna let anybody scooch me into doing some things, right? I'm gonna live purposefully. You wanna get down, baby? You wanna get down? Oh, he's so calm. Ain't that so cute, baby? He's just calm. Okay. So, but being intentional is about choosing your focus daily, your purpose, choosing your purpose. Number 2, the second I in the 4 I's framework is about being inspired, meaning focus on living your legacy now. Let your spirit fuel your actions, right? Like I wake up every morning so excited. Oh my goodness, look at that little baby. He got his head down. He's so cute. Listen before leaping. Like listen, let your spirit lead you. Meaning be inspired from within. I contributed to 3 books. One book was called Ignite Happiness. The second book was called Ignite Your Inner Spirit. And the third book was called Ignite Possibilities. Ignite Your Inner Spirit was really around people who I'm just gonna let my baby down. You okay? Okay, 30 seconds, people. But it's about being inspired. Yeah, come on, you're good. Come on, sweet baby. Thank you guys. I'm back. Okay. Thank you. So I did bring a puppy in because that brings me joy. What's wrong with that? So the second I is being inspired. So let your spirit fuel your actions. The third I is about being inclusive, right? Build with community. So this show is called Better Together and Living Powerfully, because the building with community, it's so much better when you do this type of work together, especially work where you're aligning with your purpose. It's so cool when you connect with people who are like aligned with the same purpose, right? That they realize that, or even if it's not the same purpose, a purpose. When you meet people that are intentional, it's so comforting. So Better Together is really about building with community. So being inclusive, to find people who want to do the things that you're doing, right? Celebrate collaboration. We really are better together. That's the practice. Believe it and then activate in that way. The fourth I in the 4 I's framework for living powerfully, one of the power principles, is about being impactful. That's like one of my core values. So anybody who knows me knows these 4 I's are like, that's that girl right there, right? She's about being intentional. Don't say it if you're not going to do it, because then I'm going to call you on it in a loving way. Like, I thought you said, people don't like it. I've lost a friend on that. Like, well, I said it, but I don't really mean it. It's like, I'm sorry. I thought you told me to help you get there. Oops, sorry. Yeah, let people do what they're going to do. But and you don't want to challenge other people, because people are going to move with, at their own speed. But for me, being intentional is about surrounding myself with people that are going to call me in. If I am not doing what I said, please call me in. Please call me in. I didn't say call me out. Call me in. Call me back into a conversation that says, hey, girl, right? Didn't you say, like, even the pizza and the ribs? I'm not eating the whole pizza. I literally invited other people to join me so I wouldn't eat. I'm going to have a couple slices. I'm going to have a couple ribs, and I'm good. I've eaten grapes today. So that's not a major deviation for me from a content perspective. That's literally why I invited other people to join me. These are wonderful people. We're going to all have a great experience, and it's going to be wonderful. And I love being around wonderful people. Like, that's part of what brings me joy, is like meeting awesome people and sharing a meal, right? I'm a Southern girl. So being intentional with my time, that's important. I'm inspired because I know that I'm doing exactly what I was meant to do. I'm inclusive because, again, it's better together. Everything is better when you do it together, most things. And then being impactful, it's about measuring your legacy, right, in the lives that you change. Measure your legacy in the people. I have people coming up to me all the time saying, girl, I'm so glad you said that when you were at Microsoft, you were in a role, and I'm so glad you would speak up in ways that I couldn't. I didn't feel able. When I was at Disney, I was leading, their diversity resource group. People would say that all the time to me. People come up to me all the time and say things that I've said or done that impacted them, and I couldn't even tell you who they are. And that brings me joy, honestly, full disclosure, because that means I'm doing something right. It means I'm impacting lives. And it's like, oh, thank you. And I'm joyful every time. I don't pretend like I know. I'm like, tell me more. Like, oh my God, that makes me so happy. That means I'm doing something, I'm doing something good. So who's better because I showed up today? You want to ask yourself that question, right? So you can't do, I'm not saying do all the I's, but again, back to being intentional, back to saying, I want to do something. So if there's 4 I's, right? Intentional, being inspired, being inclusive, and being impactful. So you can journal for yourself, which I needs the most attention in your life right now, right? That's easy. Okay. Now, living your book now, right? This concept of living your legacy now, that concept of freeing yourself from a liberation perspective. So if legacy is not what you leave behind, we've said this before, right? It's what you live boldly right now. Legacy is not what you leave for someone else. Your life is your legacy. When you're gone, they're not going to be talking about what you left. They're going to be talking about how you showed up. What does my Angela say? People aren't going to remember. They remember how you made them feel. And so if you're showing up in people's lives right now, right, that means every choice is a chapter. Every decision determines your destiny. Every act of love, that's a line that you've written in your book. Right? Every healed wound is a new paragraph of power. Every time you do this healing work that Debrina Jackson Gandy talks about a lot, right? That's not my area of expertise. I've done it with her and it's impacted me. But this idea of saying, I want to live my legacy now. So breathe this in with me, right? Breathe these words in. I'm not waiting for my legacy. I'm living it. I'm living my legacy now. I use that word all the time. Living your legacy now, right? Let's go change the world. One mindset, one habit, one act at a time. Hopefully it's a faith-filled act, meaning no matter what happens, you know it's going to work out for your good, right? Science-based act. No matter what I do, if I do one thing each day toward this goal, I am going to be the person that I want to be. I'm going to have the outcome that I want, right? Like it's scientifically proven that 1% gets you exactly to where you want. Just one thing a day. It's literally that simple. So if you think about this idea of changing the status quo and living your legacy now, then, you know, there's 3 transformations that have to happen. There's that mindset shift, right? How you see the world. You believe it's yours for the taking. It's a habit shift. What you do each day, that is so critical. Again, you can't just talk about it. You got to be about it. Your actions have to align. That's a ghetto term. Don't talk about it, be about it. That's like, you know, you can take a girl out of the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out of the girl. So, right, you got to be about it. That means you got to take actions every day. You got to do little things every day. You got to be about the thing that you say, that you're talking about. You got to be about the thing you're talking about. You got to take actions every day, micro actions every day that are going to move you towards your goal, even if it's just one thing, right? So that mindset shift, the habit shift, and then the heart shift. Why do you do what you do, right? Because who you become in the process matters, right? Who you become in the process matters. You want to make sure you're doing work that is absolutely positive, right, in the universe. Uh-oh. So we have book inspirations. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have like 12 books that I wanted to highlight. And I've been talking about these from before. The first is The Power of Now. That's Eckhart Tolle. Atomic Habits with James Clear. The Power of Habit with Charles Duhigg. Mindset or Growth Mindset with Carol Dweck. The 4 Agreements is Don Miguel Ruiz. Think and Grow Rich is Napoleon Hill. Daring Greatly is one of my favorite books by Brené Brown. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. We talked about 2 of the habits last time. We talked about kind of the start with the end in mind. So that's like with your day. Start with the end in mind, right? Being very clear. And then the Morning Miracle, Hal Elrod, is like waking up and starting your day, right? Expecting a miracle to happen. And then there's a book called The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer, which I think you would love as well. Let me put this here. There we go. So if you think about the actions that we're asking you to take, if you're living your legacy now, if you've decided, I understand the 4 I's and I know what I want to do differently and or better, right? This idea of identity matters. So your identity, that's kind of the foundation, right? How you see yourself is not just what you do, right? You want to know that. That's why I call myself Fit Traci, right? I am Fit Traci. So what statements about yourself are non-negotiable, right? That's what you want to pause and think about. You know, you look at your origin story, but you really want to focus on your future story. Some things that happened to you when you were a child, you don't have any control over that. It is what it is. It was what it was. But what you do have control over is your future story. So your origin story, it is what it is. Honor where you came from, but envision where you're going. Invest most of your time in where you are going, right? So this concept of I am, you want to operate from I am what I do rather than I am who I am, right? So that performance identity is a conversation we'll talk more about later. I want to get through a couple more things and I only have like 10 minutes to do so. So let me go talk about becoming, right? There's this process of becoming, right? First of all, note that it's an ongoing journey of aligning your identity with your highest purpose. It's less about finishing and it's more about evolving. So it's not like this, there's a goal at the end and then I fall over it and I'm dead. No, you're always evolving. You're always becoming. You move from I want to be to I am becoming. I am becoming. I am Fit Traci. Fit Traci can eat pizza and ribs. I'm going to have 2 slices, 2 tiny little pieces. I'm going to have a couple things. I'm going to be done. And all the heck again, you know what I'm saying? Like these are choices. I'm also having a salad. And so these are choices that we get to make. So you get to take some steps to integrate actions into your identity, the becoming into the process. You first want to define your core I am. So you want to write down 3 powerful I am statements. I'm a legacy builder. I'm a courageous change maker. I am anchored in faith and action, right? And put them somewhere where you can see them and say them every day. I am fit Traci, right? I am grateful, right? To be in a position to be around amazing people every day. I really am. My I am statements include things that I think other people probably could agree on as well. For me, I just want to, sorry, someone just, I am me, and I wanted to get back to them. So for me, these I ams, whether they're transformational or not, I am, this is kind of full disclosure, but I had to say this one to myself, and I still do. I am enough. Right now, as I am enough. And I say that because remember we talked about the saboteurs. One of my saboteurs is a hyperachiever. So I have all these certifications and all these extra things. Obviously, there was some energy where I didn't think I was enough. I got to keep doing extra stuff, right? So I have to even say to myself, and I'm a very confident being, right? I think I'm smarter than most, right? I'm more positive than most, but I have some energy around I am enough. So I have to say, I even bought a ring that says I am enough on the inside, because I realize oftentimes the things that I do when I go back to my beliefs, like, why would I do that? Like, why would I be like, I'm somebody, I stopped working for this lady, but I kept doing free work for her for X amount of time because I just wanted to help them. I knew I needed to help them and they weren't in a position but I'm enough. Like, I did as much as I could do. I'm enough, right? So I am enough right now. I have to say that a lot. And some of you probably should practice that one as well. I am enough right now as I am. I'm enough. I'm worthy. Is a complete sentence, but you can add and say, I'm worthy of joy. I'm worthy of peace. I'm worthy of abundance, financial abundance, right? I'm created new I am. I am created on purpose and for a purpose. I know that to be true. What about you? Like, I'm a masterpiece, right? I'm still a work in progress, but I'm already a masterpiece. Both things can be true, right? I'm walking proof that healing is possible. I'm walking proof, right, of 100 different things. So you fill in the gap for you, right? I'm both the student and the teacher in my life. I learn a lot from all these amazing people that I meet, right? But I'm also teaching and sharing, and that's what we all should be doing. I'm becoming who I was always meant to be. That's another I am statement. I'm choosing to become who I was meant to be. I'm choosing progress over perfection. I don't care, right? I'm not trying to be perfect, but I show up here for you every week with some clear content prepared to share, because I know this is part of what I was meant to do, right? I am guided, I am protected, and I am divinely supported. That's why I said, if you have any type of spiritual beliefs in your life, it's just a level up. It's just a whole level of added protections, is what I call it. Added, opportunities to help you progress, if that makes sense. For me, again, not required, because science says if you believe, you can achieve. All of that is true. And if you have some tragic things that have happened in your past, you can remind yourself, I am not my past. I am my potential, right? So you decide some I am statements, right? Some faith-based ones, or I am fearfully and wonderfully made, right? I am equipped for every good work. I'm aligned with divine timing and divine purpose. I'm walking by faith, not by sight, meaning I believe all the things are going to come to me, right? I am favored. I am chosen. I am covered. That's what I meant by there's some things that happens when you're anchored in spirit that just change everything. I'm a builder of legacy, right? I'm about kingdom impact. That's big. Right? I am the living evidence of divine grace. That's huge, right? So there's so many things. Think about leadership, your I am statements. I'm a visionary who sees beyond limitations. This is my I am. I'm a voice for those still finding their voice. I feel so good about that. I'm almost fearless. almost, right? I'm pretty courageous, right? But I'm a voice for those still finding their voice. Isn't that something? I'm the change I want to see in my community. I'm being the change that I want to see in my community. I want more of this. I think we should all be showing up, giving our best. So I am the change that I want to see. People say, be the change you want to see. I am the change I want to see in my community. I'm a servant leader who lifts others as I rise. That's who I am. I'm a culture shifter. I don't fit in. I transform the cultures around me. I don't try to fit in. Where's the fun in that, right? I'm a multiplier of impact, right? I'm intentional with my influence. I'm building systems that outlive me, right? I'm leaving things because I want to bridge between generations. I'm a legacy in motion. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about you too. I hope you're like, yep, me too, right? And if transformation is what you want, then you want to talk about that too. You want to become limitless. So you want to talk about I am, even if you're not already, by the way, you want to talk about what you are, because these are the choices that you make. So I am disciplined, focused, and unstoppable. I do believe that. I'm a magnet for miracles. I 1,000% believe that. I'm attracting divine opportunities aligned with my purpose. For sure. I am choosing alignment over anxiety. You can't bother me. I'm releasing what no longer serves me. I'm a master of my emotions. My emotions work for me, not against me. I'm the creator of new possibilities. Come on now. If any of this is feeling good, put something in the chat, right? I'm at peace with my pace. Divine timing is perfect timing. It would have been great if I had done some stuff earlier, but I'm doing it when I can do it at the pace that I've done it. Right? I'm at peace with my pace. Come on now. We got to be at peace with where we are. I am the author, right? Not the audience of my own story. I get to write my own story. So do you. I could keep going, but I'm going to stop because we're short on time. But I am a visionary and I'm favored, right? So what are you becoming? And you want to create those items. So create a little page, journal this out and say, I am, right? On the left side, whatever you're becoming, what is your truth now? The left side, what am I becoming? That's your next evolution. And that's the one you want to focus on. You don't want to focus on where you are. You want to focus on where you want to be. Does that make sense? Because you're becoming it. Your words are powerful. Okay. I love responding to people. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So the other thing I wanted to do as we talk about the I am statements, again, remember, this is about you becoming who you are, becoming all that you want to be. So it's the process of knowing that this is an ongoing journey that you get to be a part of. So you remember those books that I mentioned before? Just want to go back to two of them to give you another little living powerfully lens. Okay, so that one about, I talked about the power of now. So this concept of saying presence is the portal to peace. You're not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts, right? And so if you think about it, you know, when you think about those five elements, it's your beliefs determine your thoughts. Your thoughts lead to your emotions. It's your emotions that determine your actions or your inactions. And it's those actions that lead to the results. So if you think about the power of the human mind, it all starts with the beliefs, right? It starts with what you believe. So your thoughts are like way over here. Your thought, right? I mean, your beliefs lead to your thoughts, but they're not the beginning, right? And you get to observe your thoughts. When we talked about, I'm going to hopefully bring this all together. We started today talking about that pause that happens in the middle. Something can come into your head and you don't have to act on it. You are the observer of your thoughts. When that happens, you're like, oh, I see you, right? It could be a saboteur. It could be some negative thought that is not you. You get to say, nope, I am. And then you restate the facts as you see them, defining what you're becoming. Does that make sense? So you're not your thoughts. You get to observe them. Change doesn't start with movement. It starts with stillness. So we talk about the power of the pause. Pause. Whenever those thoughts happen, you create a new future, right? As you are in the pause. It's that power of the pause. Like the becoming is in that moment where you pause 3 times and ask yourself, am I, Remember we talked about pausing and breathing, right? Right now, I'm safe, I'm guided, I'm enough. So going back to your I ams, you want to pause any negative thoughts. You want to breathe. We talk about the PQs, right? Where you can breathe, you can pause, you can physically touch and squeeze things, you can drink some water. Ooh, celebrate, right? So you get to decide the future by pausing in those moments where thoughts come in your head that are not aligned with what you want. You get to truly create these little habits through who you want to be, who you're becoming. Whew, I could keep talking, but I just got a note from my producer saying that I have some announcements to make and I will participate. Thank you for sharing. So our first announcement is that tomorrow you can get informed for this November's election with special election programming right here on Rainier Avenue Radio. Starting at 5 p.m., there's going to be a broadcast of the King County executive debate between candidate Girmay Zale, I think that's how you pronounce his last name, Ziale, and Claudia Balducci, followed by a live town hall at 6 p.m. on policing hosted by Seattle Community Police Commission. So that's right here live, October 21st at 5 p.m. Don't miss it, y'all. This is really, really, really important. The King County Executive, this is a big, big decision for us. And then there's another announcement. This Friday, you can catch the regular season finale for Metro League football live at 7 p.m. PT featuring number 4 Eastside Catholic at number 8 Rainier Beach in a key battle for second place. Woo! I love it. I think that's all of my announcements for this week. What I'm super excited about is hopefully you guys found this as powerful and enriching as I did. Because it's so good, right? It's so juicy. So what I'm asking you to do is stay tuned. Come back next week. Yes, I'm rolling my eyes because I'll be in Jamaica next week. So I'm either but I will have some powerful messaging for you from the beach. I'm sure I will. I'll also record something in case there's some technology issues. But we're going to build on this, right? We're talking about how do you live your best life? Y'all, I'm living my best life, and I'm not telling you what I read. I know I've read some great things in books. I'm telling you what I know, right? And so I'm asking you to show up fully for yourself, fully for community, and live your legacy right now. That's it for this week. Join me next week right here on Better Together and Living Powerfully. And remember, you are everything already that you want to be. You're becoming your best self. Live powerfully and join us next week. Thanks.